race week again, and apparently the Formula 1 paddock did not get the memo that it was the week off. Charles Leclerc dropped engagement photos, Franco Colapinto released an ad with his main sponsor that is anything but subtle, and I'm going to be ranting about the state of Formula 1 journalism. Because at this point, I feel like the championship we should pay attention to is between journalists to see who can misquote each other faster. Welcome to Brazil, where the track is not the only thing full of turns. Welcome back everyone, it is time for one of those weekends. The Brazilian Grand Prix, arguably one of fans and drivers' favorite track to be on. A race that is somehow never boring, never predictable, and does not need the extra hype, it just delivers. Between the weather, the altitude, how far into the season we are, and the fans that treat the sport like a religion, Brazil has personality. So let's talk about the circuit that is responsible for half of Formula 1's emotional trauma. We are racing at Autódromo José Carlos Pace, or better known as Interlagos, literally between the lakes. This track hosted its first Formula 1 race in 1973, and it has delivered incredible races since then. From Senna's first home win in '91 to the crazy 2008 race where Lewis Hamilton won the championship in the last lap. Or even last year when Max delivered us one of the best redemption drives and reminded us again why he is a four-time world champion. The track is counterclockwise, quite short but deceptively fast. It's only 4.3 kilometers long, but it packs 15 corners, half of which are trying to murder your tires during the 71 laps that last the race. The lap starts with the Senna S, probably the best place to overtake in the entire track, and it's the place where if drivers are desperate enough during lap 1, they can send it. And boy, do I hope they are. Then it's full throttle through Curva do Sol onto Reta Oposta. I apologize, I know I'm butchering every single one of these Portuguese words. I am talking about the straight in the back. The middle sector is all about the rhythm, and even though I would usually say turn 4 is the least of your worries in this part, if you're Lance Stroll, I would be careful. And finally, we arrived to that corner that I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce. Junção. It's the last corner before the uphill blast into the finish line. It's a short track, but with a lot of heart and a lot to offer. And you know what else is exciting about this weekend is that we might have a chance of rain. Who knows, we might see 2 Williams on the podium. Or 2 Haas. Because I'm sorry, but with the way that the 2 Alpines are looking like this year, the only champagne they'll be touching is the one that visitors accidentally spill in their hospitality lounge. But before we talk about the predictions for this weekend, we have to talk about the things that are happening behind the scenes off track, because a lot has happened this week and a lot is currently happening as well. Let's talk about Charles Leclerc. Congratulations are in order because he is engaged to Alex. Not that Alex, the other one. I don't know if you saw the video earlier this year where all the drivers are getting ready for their photo shoots and to film the intro for Formula 1. And Charles is talking about how Alex was giving him tips on skincare. I paused for like 2 minutes before I realized that he was talking about his girlfriend, whose name is also Alex.
So yeah, Alex advised me on hydrating.
Yeah.
Every morning, every evening. The sun cream. So now I've got a skincare routine.
I genuinely believe for 5 minutes that Alex Albon was handing out skincare tips through the paddock. But all jokes aside, I am really happy for them, and I'm happy for him because he has to celebrate something this year after the way that his team is performing. Then we have Franco Colapinto. A couple of weeks ago, I said that I was pretty sure his renewal contract would be announced in between Austin and Brazil. And a couple of days ago, Franco and his main sponsor, Mercado Libre, released an ad that is anything but subtle.
¿A qué te pasa, Franco?
Sí, soy yo. Está rápida reflejos, ¿eh?
¿Sos rápido?
¿Firmo?
Sí, por favor.
Está rápido, vos también. Bien, todo bien.
Chao, hasta luego.
But I'll let you be the judge of it. He also released an autobiography recently. One is an adult version and the other one is like a kid's book. And I've heard really good things about them, so maybe at some point I'll check them out and tell you if they're good or not. And the next thing that happened or is happening is more on the rumor side of things, but I wanted to mention it because I have to go on a little rant. TikTok, Twitter, even some so-called serious news outlets are saying that according to Corriere della Sera, which is an Italian magazine, Lewis Hamilton will get replaced by George Russell in 2027. And I saw quite a few people online talking about this, and I saw quite a few articles show up that said this, so I thought, you know, let's go to the magazine and see what it says. And there's no article, or at least I didn't find it. I went straight to the magazine's website, I searched through it, trying to avoid signing up for a subscription. I even went to Google and did that thing where you can limit your search to a specific website, and I couldn't find anything. The only piece that I found in that magazine that compared Lewis to George somehow was one talking about the struggles that Ferrari is facing and the improvement in car development for Mercedes and George Russell, with him winning 2 races, and the fact that Ferrari and Hamilton's car are not doing great development-wise. But that's it. There's no Ferraris replacing Lewis with George, no George dressed in red. There was nothing like that. Just one sentence about Mercedes and George's car improving and Ferrari and Lewis' car not. Which makes me think that someone went and saw the names George Russell, Lewis Hamilton, Ferrari struggle in the same page and thought, hey, there's something happening here. And then every other site and fan account just copied it without checking the original source. Because let's be honest, nowadays it pays to be fast and not really to be accurate. There should be an internet law that if you are going to quote another news article on your news article, you should hyperlink it. Because nowadays Formula One journalism, or trying to find out information in the Formula One circles, feels more like playing broken telephone. One person said that one person said, and the other person said that, and none of them are linking each other. I cannot go to the article of the previous person because it doesn't exist. And I am actually in the process of starting a spreadsheet to keep track of these things. Who said what, where did it come from, which magazines tend to be the original sources and which ones are just quoting other people, and which things that people said came true. I want to sort of create a spectrum to see how trustworthy each magazine and each individual journalist or Formula One fan account is accurate. For example, if Max Futrell, Lando Norris's best friend, has a strong reaction on stream to seeing Maggie Corsedo, the alleged girlfriend, before they're even announced as an official couple, I'm going to take it as a soft confirmation. And then you've got people like Nelson Piquet Jr., who is Max Verstappen's brother-in-law and constantly goes on podcasts like Pelas Pistas and says things like this. One of Mercedes' drivers is a rookie. Who knows what will happen next year when Max races there? Right after he did try to dissuade it, saying things like, oh no, but everyone is talking about it, it's just an option, it's not really official yet, but it was too late. The internet heard Max Verstappen races there and it spread like wildfire. And because the podcast is in Portuguese, I'm pretty sure that a lot of news outlets decided to not even try to verify their source. Now, I couldn't find the entire length of the podcast, but I did find the specific clip where he says that Max will race in Mercedes and then he retracts himself. And I'm going to link it down below in my description so that you can see it for yourself if you want to. But that's the thing about the Formula One rumor mill, is that once you say something confidently, it doesn't matter what you meant. The headline writes itself. So going back to the original Hamilton rumor situation that I was talking about, if you read the original article from Corriere della Sera, please link it down below because I would be really interested in reading it. And while you're at it, let me know what Formula One journalists, news outlets, and fans you trust. It doesn't matter the language. Let's build a trustworthy list together. Moving along to this weekend, we have a sprint race and I am really excited for it. I know sprint races generally get a lot of criticism, but with how close we are to the end of the season, this sprint race could be a make or break for the championship. These extra points matter more than ever now. But with that said, I do hope that all the drama does not get left behind on the Saturday, because we have seen it happen before. In Austin, for example, all the turn 1 mistakes possible were all made during the sprint, and then race was very tame. Or Miami, where Saturday was the day with all the rain and then the race just existed on Sunday. For Brazil, I really want the Sunday race to be the main event, with the strategies, overtakes, mistakes, the rain. And if they want to give us a Saturday with rain as well, I'm not going to be one to complain, but I need it to rain on Sunday. And with that said, here are my predictions for the weekend. Actually, usually I write my predictions and then I ask AI to give me their predictions, but for some reason I could not decide what I wanted to do for my podium predictions this weekend. So I'm deciding right now. I feel like with the sprints being shorter and being on the day that it's most likely going to rain, it's going to be the most unpredictable one. If the McLarens end up qualifying terribly, there's not much they can do to compensate for their position. So for third place, I want to go with someone who usually doesn't make it to the podium, and given that it's raining, and allegedly he is good in the rain. I am going to give Lance Stroll his redemption arc and put him in 3rd place, just to spice things up. 2nd place, I'm going to go with Oscar Piastri, and in 1st place, I put Lando Norris, just because I think Max might not qualify very high. But for the race, I'm gonna go with Oscar in 3rd, Lando in 2nd, and Max in 1st, because I do think that Max is probably going to win the race. He is incredible on this track. And with the way that the race ended last year, with him starting so far back, last year he made it from the back of the pack to the front, so even if he qualifies 10th here, he should be able to make it first. ChatGPT doesn't agree with me and went for the sprint race. In 3rd place, Max Verstappen, 2nd place, Oscar Piastri, and 1st place, Lando Norris. And for the race, the exact same. Max in 3rd, Oscar in 2nd, and Lando in 1st. Gemini, on the other hand, decided to throw in 2 different drivers. For the sprint race, 3rd place, Charles Leclerc, 2nd place, Max Verstappen, and 1st place, Lando Norris. And for the race, 3rd place, George Russell, 2nd place, Lando Norris, and 1st place, Max Verstappen. I think Gemini does not like Oscar Piastri. Alright, that is the setup for Brazil. The track, the rumors, the rain, probably things that we can't even predict at this point. I think it's going to be an exciting week. Let me know down in the comments who you think is going to win the sprint race and who do you think is going to win the race this year. And while you're there, please let me know what Formula 1 journalist or Formula 1 news outlet you trust, because I need to rebuild my faith in Formula 1 journalism. And I'll see you right after the race for a usual post-race therapy session. So please enjoy the race and have a great weekend.